I'm Greg Mocker, and I'm always on the move.
Until I'm not.
As the transit reporter for PIX 11.
It's my job to know about getting around the city.
I'll tell you about detours and delays.
And the best way to get from here to there.
Uptown,
Downtown, all around the town, sometimes above the town.
I'll have the info you need to get you where you're going.
Catch Greg Mocker's Transit Reports weekdays on the PIX 11 News at 5.
The Tri-State moves fast until it doesn't.
It's a little bit frustrating to plan my day around the delays.
Train stalled, bus crawling.
I always expect the unexpected.
Construction popping up out of nowhere.
So much work is happening around Penn Station and underneath it.
Traffic and transit changes every day.
New Jersey commuters, brace yourselves.
New systems.
The evolution of the turnstile is turning heads.
New rules. New routes. PIX 11 Traffic and Transit. Getting you around it and getting you where you need to go.
Right now, on the PIX 11 Morning News, for 53 years, New York has waited. Fans believed, hoped, suffered, and kept coming back. This morning, the wait is finally over. The New York Knicks are your NBA champions. Jalen Brunson delivering a performance for the ages. 45 points, a Finals MVP trophy, and the biggest shot of his life with just over a minute to play. The Knicks coming back from another double-digit deficit, rallying past Wembanyama and to clinch the franchise's first title since 1973. A championship drought longer than any other in NBA history, now over. We're live with team coverage this morning on all the celebrations, including the plans for a ticker tape parade here in the city. The news at 8 starts right now.
Live from PIX Plaza on 42nd Street, it's the PIX 11 Morning News.
And good morning to you, everybody. The Knicks, champions. We thank you for starting your Sunday with us. I'm Kirsten Cole. A wild ride on the NBA Finals, and about to be a wild day when it comes to our weather, too. We are on a weather alert this morning as we head into the evening, tracking strong storms headed for us. Let's get you right to what you need to know. Meteorologist Pat Kavlin. Hey, Pat.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. We are talking about the potential for some strong to severe storms today. Until then, though, we are going to see a lot of sunshine, but that's going to heat things up. A little more humidity in the mix as well. We'll set the stage for these storms as we get into the late afternoon and early evening hours. Timing is still kind of hard to pin down, but I think the bulk of this comes in later this evening and then into the overnight. And there is the potential for some damaging winds. Pretty much a repeat performance of the rounds of storms that we have seen the last few days. 88, though, in the city for the afternoon. We'll do 90s back through portions of New Jersey. Across Long Island, upper 70s to low and mid 80s with a lot of humidity, and upper 80s to low 90s across the Hudson Valley. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the worst, it's a level 2 for a large portion of the area in terms of seeing severe thunderstorms today, and the main threat would be, again, some strong damage and wind gusts. There's 12:30 this afternoon. The Puerto Rican Day Parade steps off. We've got a lot of sunshine and dry weather. No big issues really to speak of until maybe the evening hours. So by 5 and 6 o'clock, there is a potential to see a couple of spotty downpours and storms develop across Jersey. But again, I think it waits till later tonight before it all moves through the area. Next 3 days look like this. 88 for today with storms getting into the evening hours, but the next 2 days look gorgeous with lots of sunshine and a drop in humidity. We'll talk about how long that nice weather sticks around when I see you back here for the full forecast in just a bit.
And that sounds lovely. Thank you, Pat. And this morning, New York, we are all waking up basking in the glow of being in the basketball capital of the world. The celebration started the moment the final buzzer sounded in San Antonio. It carried through the night from Madison Square Garden to Times Square and far beyond. Our team coverage everywhere. Knicks fans are celebrating this historic championship this morning. We begin with our Joe Messeri courtside in San Antonio.
Well, after 53 long years, the New York Knicks are NBA champions once again. They defeated the San Antonio Spurs 4-1, and in the closeout game, it was their captain and NBA Finals MVP, Jalen Brunson, coming up huge. 45 points in the win, the most ever in an NBA Finals closeout game on the road, tying a guy named Michael Jordan. he was pretty good for the Bulls back in the day, and Jalen Brunson pretty good ever since joining the New York Knicks. And you look at the job that Leon Rose has done assembling the pieces, and this team tonight shows that the team is greater than the sum of its parts as they managed to come back in all 4 of their wins after trailing by double digits. Once again, the New York Knicks just didn't want to give up tonight, and we heard from some of the players after the celebration following the game.
Tonight, we played like we wanted to go home champions. To finish the game, not to start the game, to finish the game. Yeah. It means the world to me to go on that court with those guys. Whatever environment we're in, home or away, doesn't matter for us.
To have the fans that we have in New York City and be able to bring home a championship after all these years is absolutely amazing. It's a surreal feeling. I don't know how long it's been since that final buzzer went off, but I still don't believe it. I'm pinching myself. I'm telling myself to try to be present. All the stuff that I tell these guys every single day, I'm trying to do, because I can't believe it.
Outstanding job of being together with. And this guy right here, this guy right here, that's my guy right there.
And as you heard, this win, not just for the current players, it's for all of the players since 1973. Those who went to the NBA Finals in 1994 and 1999 and weren't able to get the job done. We heard Karl Anthony Towns tonight tell Patrick Ewing that this win was for him. Well, it's not just for anyone who's put on a Knicks jersey and played for the team. It's for all the fans and the entire city of New York. Reporting from San Antonio, Joe Masiri, PIX 11 Sports.
And I just love hearing all that weighty emotion in their words as they talked about it afterwards. Meanwhile, here at home, they don't call it the city that never sleeps for nothing. Knicks fans spent the night celebrating a championship that has been more than 5 decades in the making. Now, not everybody was able to keep their cool. We again saw arrests across the 5 boroughs at the height of a melee. But our team coverage continues outside the Garden, where we find our James Ford this morning. James, the party started last night. It is not ending anytime soon. Everybody is still rolling forward in it.
Oh, yeah, Kirsten. You know, you really can feel the excitement still here outside MSG. And all throughout the region. Remember, there are 20 million people in the New York City metro area, and we know for a fact millions actually took to the streets overall. And yeah, did we have a few knuckleheads in there? Sure we did, creating some problems. But overall, it was simply a big, fun, exciting party, and the aftermath tells a lot of that story right now. It's the morning after the greatest thing happened. There always has to be a cleanup after a big party. And from MSG, home of the Knicks, to points all across the city and region, people went crazy when our Knicks won the championship. And on 42nd Street near the Port Authority, Air 11 captured images of fireworks in the street next to people on top of school buses. At least one of those buses, fans ended up jumping into and tore apart and burned. There were sporadic reports of damage, but overall, a great big party in the greatest city in the world. And yes, we are talking a big party. Now, we can point this out, though. There were 3 reports of stabbings, 1 report of an NYPD vehicle being vandalized, another report of an EMS crew having people try and seize the ambulance unsuccessfully. But that's a handful of cases. And keep in mind, we're talking about millions of people partying. In fact, someone told us that they walked last night from Grand Central here to MSG, and it was wall-to-wall people the entire time. So yeah, a lot of people having a great time, peacefully and joyously. We'll hear more from them coming up in the next half hour. Right now, Reporting live from clearly outside MSG, I'm James Ford, PIX 11 News. Kirsten, I know you had a good time last night.
James, it's always great to be reunited with you in this space. And what I have loved so much is seeing on social media all the neighborhoods where everybody was just jam-packed in the streets. They were putting the game up on brick walls, and people were just reveling in being part of this moment. This is what New York is all about. Thank you, James Ford. And parade, there are more celebrations. That is going to kick off at noon, spanning 35 blocks. This is the Puerto Rican Day Parade. This year's theme emphasizes the global influence, significance of Puerto Rico's culture and people, especially the performing arts and music space. Nearly 1 million people expected to fill the streets for this celebration. For a list of road closures, you can head over to our website, pix11.com, but you can bet that Midtown's going to be really jammed up. All right. Today's festivities comes just a day after one of the largest celebrations of Puerto Rican culture in America, the 116th Street Festival in East Harlem. PIX 11 proud to broadcast that for you, and PIX 11's Giovanni Diaz was there.
Bienvenidos a Puerto Rico, pero right here in New York City. The traditional 116th Street Festival is back, bringing the colors, music, and joy of Puerto Rico to Spanish Harlem, also known as El Barrio.
Well, I'm from the Bronx, born and raised, baby. My dad was a producer. I grew up in the music industry. My mom was the one that put together a lot of these festivals, and to be able to be here with my fans and also my community, it's such a dream come true, right? I love being Latina, and I'm very proud of my culture y también la comida, porque la comida es lo mejor.
Okay, so entonces show me how to bailar a little bit. Can we do it? How am I doing? Am I doing good?
You're doing great.
The event has been around for 41 years, and in each edition, the party grows bigger. The music fills the streets, while hundreds of vendors and thousands of excited neighbors come together to celebrate their love for La Isla del Encanto.
Basically, we have body oils, we have many scents, we have pina colada, we have infused rose oil for hair growth, we have a bunch of different citrusy flavors.
Fans of superstar Bad Bunny also had a special guest at the festival.
I think Bad Bunny not only represents us through his music, but through his action off camera. So much of what he does off camera impacts our communities in and out the island, and that matters a lot to me as a New Yorican.
When I tell you that you find literally everything, I mean everything when you come to the 116th Street Festival. I'm here with my friend who just introduced me to his two other friends.
We're gonna put your elbow up. Okay, we putting him on you too.
Okay.
Just leave that elbow up. Look at it.
Okay.
And say hi. Tokyo. Over here.
Who are these guys?
This is Tokyo. We live in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, okay.
So we just here trying to make it trying to have everybody have an experience of exotic bird and a snake.
What is your message to folks when it comes to Puerto Rican culture?
My message is that que vive la Puerto Rico, que sigue. And we big. We ain't never gonna stop. We always gonna be together.
And if it is New York's very own, PIX 11 is there. For another year, PIX 11 is a proud sponsor of the 116th Street Festival.
I never got to claim Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico claimed me. WBC, I became one of their very own. And ever since then, I've just fallen in love with the culture more than ever before. And to be able to represent with PIX 11, to host something like this, it's a dream come true.
The entire city is really in celebration mode. Obviously, a lot to celebrate. We got the Knicks going Game 5, and we're out here celebrating Puerto Rican and Latino culture. A culture of people that have shaped the tapestry of what makes New York City, New York.
And to the sound of salsa, powered by Tostones y Coquito, El Barrio is once again representing Puerto Rican pride.
It's about community diversity and understanding.
In East Harlem, I'm Giovanni Diaz, PIX 11 News.
Ah, what a great celebration. And still to come, a seaplane ends up in the East River, the aircraft filling up with water during takeoff. And it took a passing boat to help rescue the people on board. We're going to tell you what we believe went wrong. Plus, another check of your weather. We're on weather alert for you this morning. Storms expected to roll in later today. Big changes ahead.
The Tri-State moves fast until it doesn't.
It's a little bit frustrating to plan my day around the delays.
Train stalled, bus crawling.
I always expect the unexpected.
Construction popping up out of nowhere.
So much work is happening around Penn Station and underneath it.
Traffic and transit changes every day.
New Jersey commuters, brace yourselves.
New systems.
The evolution of the turnstile is turning heads.
New rules. New routes. PIX 11 Traffic and Transit. Getting you around it and getting you where you need to go.
Introducing the first ever Infiniti QX65. The world can stop, freeze, fall behind. But the Infiniti QX65 is unstoppable. The first ever Infiniti QX65.
Welcome to the stage, Kate Connolly.
The daughter of a postal worker and construction worker. My story has been about service. Proud West Point grad, combat veteran, one of the first women in special ops leadership. I then went off to serve at the White House, fighting Trump's attacks on our democracy. I've been willing to die for a country that I now barely recognize. I'm Kate Conley, and I approve this message because I'm fighting for you to take on corruption, to lower costs, and put working people first, because our future is worth fighting for.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. With Skyrizi, feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks. Many people were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 4 years.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi.
Welcome back at 8:15. Beautiful look there across the city, already getting hot and humid. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump says a peace deal with Iran will be signed today. But that is a claim that the Islamic Republic is disputing. In a post on his social media platform, President Trump writing, quote, "The deal is scheduled to get signed, and immediately after it's signed, the Hormuz Strait is open to all." The post coming hours after the Prime Minister of Pakistan, a key mediator in these negotiations, said the country was preparing for the electronic signing of the peace deal. Neither the U.S. nor Iran have released any details of what's inside that proposed deal. All right, back here at home, early voting now underway for New York City primaries. Early voting is going to be open through June 21st, with primary day being on June 23rd. A reminder, your early voting site may be different than your regular Election Day poll site. You can check your voting location at findmypollsite.vote.nyc. Okay, a close call on water in Queens. This was incredible. A seaplane had to abort its takeoff and ended up taking on water, with passengers needing to be rescued. PIX 11's Corey McGinnis has more on what happened in those tense moments.
The seaplane was pulled from the East River, and the NYPD says the plane never actually took off, but started to fill with water on the attempt.
A chaotic scene in Queens Saturday morning after a seaplane experienced a takeoff malfunction and began filling with water in the East River near the Throgs Neck and Whitestone bridges. According to police, 2 people were on a seaplane when the malfunction occurred. All of this prompting this major emergency presence in the area as crews checked on the people involved.
Oh, wow. No, it is scary to hear. I'm glad everyone is safe, and I can't believe it's right here, like by my house.
A major technical response was dispatched to the scene, bringing in specialized units prepared to handle an aviation-related emergency on the water. An FDNY Marine unit quickly arrived and pulled 2 occupants from the plane. EMS evaluated them on the scene, both left with minor injuries.
It seems like there's a lot of aviation incidents recently. I don't know if it has something to do with not enough people working and they have long shift. They should have new regulations to fix that.
The last major aviation incident this year was the LaGuardia collision involving Air Canada Express, in which a passenger jet struck a ground emergency vehicle on the runway, killing 2 people and injuring dozens. Meantime, FDNY has since wrapped up its operations at the scene, turning the incident now over to the NYPD.
The good news is everybody's okay.
Right now, NYPD is continuing their investigation to determine exactly what happened and whether any other aircraft was significantly damaged. Reporting in the Whitestone section of Queens, Corey McGinnis, PIX 11 News.
And officials tell PIX 11 a catamaran that witnessed the crash pulled those 2 people from the water. They were then transferred to an FDNY boat and brought to shore. Just incredible boating ship out on the water. And let's talk about the weather, because we're in a weather alert day for you this morning. Meteorologist Pat Kavlin tracking the chance for storms that could put a damper on your Puerto Rican Day Parade plans.
Yeah, good morning. We got a lot of stuff going on across the city today, including the Puerto Rican Day Parade that steps off at noon. So if you headed out there late this morning to just line up along the parade route, we're going to see a lot of sunshine, dry conditions, temperatures in the mid 80s. We do make it into the upper 80s this afternoon, but notice we stay dry before our thunderstorm chance arrives later this evening. These are the threats that we're following for you once these storms get here. Could see 50, 60, 70 mile per hour winds in the strongest storms, maybe even some small hail. And as usual, street flooding not out of the question. This is going to be anytime after 4 o'clock this afternoon. Could see maybe a couple of spotty storms pop up west of the city before that, but the bulk of the action comes in later this evening and really into the overnight. So again, mix of sun and clouds for today. A couple of gusty storms this evening into the overnight. Tomorrow behind this, we cleared things out. Humidity drops. It's a beautiful day with lots of sunshine, and we keep that rolling with the pick day of the week getting into Tuesday. So again, just one more round of storms to get through before we get into the start of the week. Through the afternoon, a lot of sunshine, couple clouds in the mix, especially to the west and north of the city. There's 6:30. Notice the bulk of the action still well to our west. Take it with a grain of salt. These things change run to run, but overall the idea is for evening and overnight storms. There's just before midnight, again, heavy rounds of rain and thunderstorms drifting through the area. And then once we get you into tomorrow, barely a cloud in the sky with a big drop in humidity. Watch all of the dark green flood the map and then just get wiped away as drier weather takes hold as we get into the beginning of the upcoming week. And look at the numbers here as well. We'll go from the upper 80s today down to the upper 70s for tomorrow. Back to 80 degrees Tuesday, upper 70s for Wednesday, and then a little bit warmer with more humidity as we get into the end of the week. For the afternoon, though, 83 in Liberty, 89 for White Plains, 88 in the city. We'll do low 90s back across portions of New Jersey. Out across Long Island, we're looking at mid 80s, maybe even a few upper 80s through Nassau County, up along the north shore of Suffolk County, south-facing beaches and the Twin Forks. You'll top out in the upper 70s. There's that 7-day forecast. So again, we do have that weather alert in effect for today. That's for the chance to see a couple of strong to severe thunderstorms this evening into the overnight. Tomorrow, big drop in humidity, lots of sunshine. Same deal for my pick of the week on Tuesday. Shower chance returns on Wednesday with maybe another round of severe weather Thursday before we trend drier with warm temperatures into the start of next weekend.
All right, looking pretty good there, Pat. We just need to get through tonight. Meanwhile, in New York, the wait is finally over. The Knicks are NBA champions for the first time in half a century. Now the city is planning a massive ticker tape parade. We're going to tell you how this celebration is all going to unfold. That's when we come back.
This week on Monica Makes It Happen, the show is going to the dogs. Meet Maybe, a history-making pup. And Goya celebrates community through Flag Cities 2026 and a massive Bronx food giveaway with the NYPD. Plus, a 10-year-old superstar. Monday at 11 on PIX 11 and always on PIX 11 Plus.
We invited passionate soccer fans to push Nissan vehicles to the limit, just like they do with their teams. Further proof that the Nissan lineup is tested and trusted by the toughest. Hurry in to bring home a winning offer at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now well-qualified buyers get 0% APR on select model trims or get a low $199 per month lease on Altima.
What in the world is in that room? What you got in that room?
There's no place like Lowe's.
Happy birthday, America. This is the furniture you've waited 250 years for. Bob's Sedona Power Reclining Sofa, genuine leather seats, the Homeworks Dining Set, lift top storage, the Solitude Bedroom, over 700 5-star reviews, and the Playday Sectional, made from 100% American ambition.
Celebrate the 4th of July weekend at Bob's,
where America shops for furniture.
Trademark!
Oh my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Okay, here we go. My name is Alex Boris, and for my entire life, I've been fighting for progressive values. I walked my dad's picket line as a kid, defended factory workers, got married, became a dad. Now I'm the first New York Democrat ever elected with a computer science degree. And I just beat Trump and his mega donors to pass the toughest AI safety law in the nation. I'm Alex Boris, and I approve this message because when Trump comes to hurt New Yorkers, he'll have to come through me.
Beautiful look across Manhattan there as we go up in temperatures and the storms roll in later today. Welcome back inside at 8:23. Using art to empower children. Now in its 20th year, NYC Kid Fest, bringing families to Harlem for a weekend of music, dance, and performances by local kids and professional artists. PIX 11's Duarte Geraldino reporting.
Marcus Garvey Park came alive Friday night. Kids from across Harlem took the stage alongside professional performers, including hip-hop artist Rod Digga.
It is not easy to get on this stage and perform in front of crowds of people.
Many of these kid performers came from local schools, including Harlem Village Academy. Crowds came to support them, and the kids gave them plenty to cheer about.
And we just thought, what better way to showcase what our kids in Harlem can do than here in our community and the amphitheater right by our schools.
For many, this was a chance to watch young people build confidence. Walindo Palacios' granddaughter attends Harlem Village Academy. She's been practicing for months.
The kids need this more. We need to do this more often now here, especially here in Harlem. Keep the kids busy, but it was just exciting. I went when they were practicing, and it was wonderful. I had a wonderful time. My granddaughter belongs to the school.
That message, it hits home for families. The city is seeing record low shootings and murders, but police leaders say violence involving young people remains a challenge. In 2025, the last full year of data available, 14% of shooting victims and 18% of shooting suspects were under 18 years old.
And what do you think about all the crime, the youth crime that's happening in Harlem?
It's really sad, really, really sad. It saddens my heart all the time when I hear somebody, a young kid, fighting for their lives in the hospitals and stuff like that. We shouldn't live like that anymore.
NYC Kids Fest has been bringing music, dance, and art to Harlem for more than 20 years by letting kids perform alongside artists who've already made it.
This is not about kiddie music. Like, everybody loves good music. So the intermingling is really just bringing together the generations, bringing together the inspiration of the artistic performers. And just, it's called NYC Kids Fest, but it's for kids of all ages.
This year's theme is belonging. For one weekend, the spotlight belongs to Harlem kids.
And that was our Duarte Geraldino reporting. NYC Kids Fest is in Morningside Park this morning, where it wraps up today. Organizers say every performance, workshop, activity, all completely free. We love that. So we know World Cup, right? It's underway in our area, but Brazil's opening match didn't go quite as planned. How Morocco pushed one of the tournament favorites to the limit out at MetLife.
This summer at Sonic, take a trip with the Tropical Heat Sonic Smasher. Drizzled with jalapeno pineapple glaze and the Tropical Cream Slush with coconut and pineapple. Try the Tropical Duo this summer at Sonic.
New Jersey, we've got more summer wows under the sun than anyone. So come see what your wow's gonna be in the little state of New Jersey, where it's one wow after another, after another, after another. You get it. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lotta.
Next level dog people give their dogs next level protection with NexGard Plus. One and done monthly parasite protection against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms. Used with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Get next level protection with NexGard Plus.
Tech that lets you be you, how it should be. The
Hyundai Tucson. Lease an all-wheel drive Hyundai Tucson SE for $209 a month, or get 0.99% APR for 60 months. Hurry in.
Cut! When you own a business, you own every decision.
Tom, you ready to finalize the launch?
New products in the pipeline. Meetings on the move. A launch from the lounge.
Tom?
I'm ready. A window seat for an office.
Look at this EBITDA.
What? Wrap the R&D, earn some R&R. What if we tried something like this?
Good morning, Mr. Holland.
Demand's heating up. Social campaign goes live in 3, 2, 1. The business card that gives back all you put in. Chase Sapphire Reserve for business.
Live from PIX Plaza on 42nd Street, it's the PIX 11 Morning News.
Good morning. You can see the haze already developing in the distance there as we look at Manhattan. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. I'm Kirsten Cole, and we are on a weather alert this morning. Severe storms predicted to rumble their way across the tri-state today. We've been tracking the very latest for you all hour long. Meteorologist Pat Kavlin here with the latest. Hey, Pat.
Happy Sunday, everyone. Yeah, we got a weather alert day in effect for today, looking at the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms once we get into the evening hours. Before that, though, a decent amount of sunshine, some hot temperatures, back to the upper 80s, low 90s. Humidity creeps back as well, and that'll set the stage for these storms getting into the evening. The main threat, just like the last 2 rounds that we had this past week, will be the potential for some strong damaging winds, maybe some small hail as well, but really focused on that wind threat. 87 in Sparta, New Jersey today, 89 for White Plains. We'll do 91 in Poughkeepsie, 70s and 80s out across Long Island. The severe outlook looks like this. Again, with any storms that do develop, if they become severe, we could see 50, 60, 70 mile per hour winds. Again, the potential for small hail and maybe even some street flooding. That includes the city as well. The good news, I think this holds off until later this evening into the overnight hours, so it shouldn't affect most plans for today. Again, Puerto Rico Day Parade steps off at noon. Weather looks good for that. Sunshine, 80s, and dry conditions. Maybe a few spotty downpours try to develop here this evening around dinner time. But Futurecast really doesn't bring the bulk of the activity in until the overnight hours. So across the Garden State today, 90 for Raritan, 92 Hamilton and Edison, same for Newark, 87 in Sparta, 84 down the Jersey Shore. 88 in New York City. Today we'll do upper 70s and low 80s for Tuesday and for Monday and Tuesday with a drop in humidity. Coming up, more detailed timing on the storm threat for tonight in the full forecast in just a bit.
All right, Pat, we just need to get through tonight. Hey, for generations of Knicks fans, this was the dream, right? Parents passed it down to their kids. Grandparents waited decades to see it happen again. Now, after 53 long years, New York finally has an NBA championship under its belt. We have complete team coverage this morning from the celebrations outside the Garden to reaction for the fans who never thought they'd see this day. James Ford joins us live outside the Garden. Being a believer this morning, James, you can still feel the energy.
Oh, you definitely can still feel the energy. And in fact, you can still meet people who barely slept last night and in some cases didn't sleep last night at all. That's what we're talking about here. Remember, this is a region of 20 million people. We know for a fact that millions literally took to the streets last night. And yeah, were there a few incidents that were not good? Yeah, but for the majority of people, just a big, big, fun night party celebrating the very, very best of New York. And the cleanup this morning speaks to just how big that party was.
It's the morning after the greatest thing happened. There always has to be a cleanup after a big party. From MSG, home of the Knicks, to points all across the city and region, people went crazy when our Knicks won the championship. And on 42nd Street near the Port Authority, Air 11 captured images of fireworks in the street next to people on top of school buses. At least one of those buses, fans ended up jumping into and tore apart and burned. There were sporadic reports of damage, but overall, a great big party in the greatest city in the world.
It was like New Year's Eve. I thought it was New Year's Eve. Even the ball was blue and orange, as we saw walking through. But I've never been more happy to be swarmed around a bunch of people in my life.
Just crazy fun. I mean, everyone was celebrating. Everyone was drinking. It was such a great time.
Wall-to-wall people?
Wall-to-wall people.
And when you have wall-to-wall people, some incidents can happen. The NYPD reporting 3 stabbings, 1 incident of vandalism to an NYPD vehicle, and an attempted incident of partiers trying to take over an ambulance. But keep in mind, we're talking those handful of incidents, none of which, as far as we know at this point, being severe injuries. You have those, and in contrast, millions of people just enjoying this great, great moment as we begin to count down to that ticker tape parade set for Thursday. Right now, reporting outside of Madison Square Garden, where, yeah, we are still feeling it. I'm James Ford, PIX 11 News.
James,
Kirsten.
where's your dream spot along the parade route for Thursday when we talk about the ticker tape?
Oh, am I a big fan of yours? I want to be as close to City Hall as possible, but still along the Canyon of Heroes on Broadway,
right,
where I'm happy to say I've been for a variety of ticker tape parades. Let's see if I can do that one this time, because that one's going to be mobbed.
Absolutely. I've done it for Lady Liberty before. I did it for the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team. I totally want to be there with the mic, climbing up on the float. I'm with you, James. Thank you so much. And, you know, back here in the studio, we're just 2 weeks away from school ending. That means a lot of families are looking for summer camp options. But just how safe is your child's camp? Today, we have the essential ways to gauge your camp safety. With us this morning, Kate Henderson, an attorney who advocates for families. Thanks for being here, Kate.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Camp is wonderful. Like, as adults, people will say that was my favorite thing as I was growing up. 30 million people a year, children take part in camp. We're talking about 1 million here in New York alone. With all those kids, all those activities, there can obviously be the opportunity for dangerous situations to happen. What are some of the red flags that parents should look for when they sort of put aside the glossy brochure photos that they should really be eyes on?
Sure. So the marketing materials are, clearly designed to highlight the fun of these camps and their activities,
that's what we're sending them there for.
Of course. So red flags you want to look for are high staff turnaround, right? Because that could be indicative of some management issues. You certainly also want to make sure that all of these camps have plans in place, emergency action plans for different scenarios, for medical emergencies, for any kind of weather event. If they don't have that, that's a big red flag too.
You know what, you were really good in giving us some information ahead of time about really sort of the tougher questions that we should ask and have these conversations. And I would imagine it's not only about the answers that you get, but sort of the way the camp welcomes your inquisitiveness. But so let's take a look at these. We should be asking about previous injuries and incidents, and also ask about supervision during high-risk activities like swimming and field trips. Also, does the camp do background checks for staff trained for CPR and first aid? And you additionally advocate that we should be having a conversation about how the camp handles those emergencies, like you were talking about, medications, allergies. And lastly, what is their emergency preparedness plan, how they're going to get in touch with parents and reunify us with our children? Those are really good areas to explore with camps.
Yes, absolutely, especially for the emergency preparedness, because you want to make sure that the entire camp staff is going to be prepared in case of an emergency, not only a select few people. Everybody needs to be ready to jump into action should the need arise.
With a unified plan. Let's talk about water safety, primary area of concern, which is important because children under the age of 4, it's their #1 cause of death is a drowning death. And then the next age group leading up into the teens, it's their second leading cause of death. So what do we need to be drilling down on when it comes to water safety?
For water safety, you want to make sure that there is an adequate number of staff, and depending on the age of the children, more specifically, this information can also be found on the Department of the Department of Health website for New York State, in terms of the exact numbers of people. But as a parent, you need to be asking how many lifeguards are going to be on duty. Are all of these lifeguards trained in CPR, and not only CPR, but any kind of medical aid? You want to make sure that they don't have to run and grab a nurse or somebody else, that everybody is ready to jump into action if need be.
You know, this happened in my local camp when you and I were talking about this ahead of time, where there was a tremendous amount of staff and still a child ended up in a near drowning situation. It can happen anywhere and very quickly.
It absolutely can, and it's important for you as a parent too to make sure that you give your child the tools that they need to ask for help, to understand water safety. But obviously, under the care of staff at camps, they need to be on their game, and you need to make sure that you're asking these kinds of questions as to numbers of people there and what kind of supervision, and are the pools closed when children aren't in the area, and all of that.
Right. Transportation is another major concern too, where we don't want them exposed to an unnecessary danger. We saw an incident here in New York where children on a band camp trip were in a coach bus. We had 2 staffers there killed in that crash. It happens, and it's something as simple as seat belts. New Jersey mandates them in school buses. New York does not. Coach buses have to have them on board, and you're supposed to wear them. Let's talk about seatbelts and transportation and how this could be the most dangerous part of your kids being in camp.
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to be asking about the bus drivers, what kind of training they have, if they have safety training, what qualifications they need, if there are seatbelts on the bus, and whether that is strictly enforced. I personally would never let my child ride on a bus that didn't have adequate, safety devices like seatbelts. But you have to ask these questions, and if you're not comfortable with it, then perhaps it's not the best place for your child.
Kate Henderson, attorney with Lever and Ecker in Westchester County. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. We appreciate your insights, and happy camp, everybody, this summer. Coming up, a tragic drowning serving as a warning along the Jersey Shore, why first responders now urging people to stay out of the water at unguarded beaches, and the simple 3-word message that could save your life. That's when we come back.
I happen to be a human beatbox.
Weekdays at 7:30 on PIX 11, New York's very own.
Whites in Luxembourg secured a record $117 million verdict, the largest ever for a single mesothelioma patient, continuing a decades-long tradition of landmark wins.
Whites in Luxembourg has consistently delivered for nearly 40 years with a deep, unwavering commitment to excellence, justice, and results. Our firm's capability at trial, our strategic approach to litigation, and our ability to go the distance all serve as a powerful message. When it matters the most, Whites in Luxembourg delivers.
When we started Morgan & Morgan 35 years ago,
we promised to fight for the people.
Decades later, that promise hasn't changed.
We've seen too many families struggle when they shouldn't have to.
That's why we're here.
With $30 billion recovered and the fight to keep going.
We've become America's largest injury law firm for a reason.
Size matters, reputation matters, results matter.
There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
For the people.
And the families.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. At NYU Langone Health, we get our surgery patients home sooner than any other health system. At NYU Langone Health, a single electronic health record gives you access to all of your doctors, lab results, images, prescriptions, and visits.
It's always something.
At Ace, however you grill, we've got the perfect one for you. Because only your local Ace has all the best brands in one place, like Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone. That sounds pretty perfect.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Forget the warm-up. DirecTV got hot. They're on fire with more MLB games than anyone.
Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
How old are you?
11.
Starting to see that haze across the sky. We're expecting storms later today. More on that in a bit. But summer, the weather's here, right? And at some Jersey Shore beaches, lifeguards are not yet on duty. And after a tragic drowning last week in Ship's Bottom, first responders are urging people to stay out of the water until those chairs are staffed. PIX 11's Jim Vassell with the story.
It's devastating to families. It's devastating to first responders.
Summer vacations have begun, and first responders across Long Beach Island have already been responding to calls for swimmers in distress, including one last week that turned deadly. According to Ship Bottom Police, a call came in around 2:30 Friday, June 5th, for 4 swimmers caught in a rip current.
Rescuers were on scene very quickly, within 10 minutes.
The Barnegat Light First Aid Squad was among the agencies to respond. While 3 of the 4 swimmers were able to get out of the water, responders found the other in the surf unresponsive. The 28-year-old man from Forked River was taken to the hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Until lifeguards are back on duty for the season, first responders on the island are urging swimmers to stay out of the ocean.
Go to a guarded beach or stay out of the water.
We're in a time of the year that some responders call a shoulder season, where the kids are still in school and it's not yet peak season, but given the beautiful weather, it might as well be. But it also means that many beaches are left unguarded.
Our lifeguards mostly don't come on till Father's Day weekend, Saturday, June 20th.
Lifeguards are on duty at least one beach on the island. Harvey Cedars Beach Patrol has a skeleton crew on duty at Middlesex Avenue from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day until next weekend, when they'll be at full strength.
As you can see, the weather's beautiful and the ocean looks inviting. So we want to make sure that we provide some sort of service so people can swim safely.
In Harvey Cedars, the flags always fly at yellow at a minimum, indicating ocean conditions are almost never perfectly safe. First responders say if you're caught in a rip current, to stay calm and remember, flip, float, and follow.
We used to say swim parallel to the shore, but then you might be swimming against the longshore current. So now it's flip, float, and follow. Flip on your back, float, and keep yourself afloat, and then follow. Let the current take you out, because normally what rips do is they normally go out and then they normally mushroom back around and will bring you back closer to shore. Save your energy to wave for help, to call for help, and to keep yourself above water.
In Harvey Cedars, Jim Vassell, PIX 11 News.
All right, let's talk World Cup action. Brazil, Morocco breaking even at MetLife yesterday. I'm sorry, we're supposed to call it New York, New Jersey Stadium. Everybody calling it MetLife. The World Cup match drawing crowds just as large as the NBA Finals. New Yorkers have been warned any match day is a gridlock alert day. Lines started after lunch at 3 locations in Midtown for the official World Cup shuttle bus. There was wait. The bus ride itself to the stadium took about an hour and a half, or nearly 2 hours.
Just buy it 3 days ago, and it was very easy way to buy it.
Very nice process. It was quick. Seeing all the Brazil fans. If you have tickets, then all you got to do is walk around the block. Very simple.
It was a sea of Brazil fans out on the street. They were definitely outnumbering the Moroccos. Meanwhile, NJ Transit and the host committee set up service for match days. Riders had to buy timed tickets. The next showdown in the Garden State set for Tuesday between France and Senegal. All right, fans also lined up at the NYC City Store for a chance to score affordable custom soccer jerseys. Mayor Mamdani collaborating with Mozzie Sports, the family-owned apparel studio in Brooklyn, for the New York-inspired soccer jerseys. Total of 1,500 were made. We spoke with one person who managed one of the $50 fines.
I thought the jerseys just looked amazing. I'm not even that big of a soccer fan. I definitely will be cheering for some teams in the World Cup, but I just feel like this limited run is really sweet, and it was handmade by a Brooklyn-based company, and so I just wanted to support.
Yeah, those jerseys were just $50 each, which if you are a soccer fan, that's a deal. Typical jersey goes between $150 and $300. There were 3 different designs, very limited edition runs of $500 each. But right now, let's bring you back inside, and we want to talk about what's going to happen with the rest of this day. It's already heating up big time. We're on a weather alert day. Meteorologist Pat Kavlin.
All right, happy Sunday again, everybody. We are tracking the threat for a couple of strong to severe storms later this evening into the overnight. I think much of today looks okay, but we still have that weather alert in effect. Any storms that do manage to become severe, again, talking about 50, 60, 70 mile per hour winds, that's the main threat. Can't rule out some small hail, also some street flooding with some of the more persistent downpours. The good news, though, most of this comes in later this evening into the overnight hours, so it should not affect any big daytime plans. Out on Long Island today in Huntington, we've got Long Island Pride, the 36th annual. We're up to 85 degrees for the start of that parade at noon with a mix of sunshine and clouds. And we'll hang on to that warm weather with partly cloudy to partly sunny conditions all the way through the afternoon. That festival goes until 5 p.m. Later on this evening, then into the overnight, this is the main threat that we're talking about for, again, any severe storms. It's a damaging wind risk. And we are in the high category here from the Hudson Valley back through the 5 boroughs into New Jersey, even parts of Nassau County. And that threat even lingers into Suffolk County as at least a moderate threat. So here's a look at the next few days for today. Again, sun and clouds. Those gusty storms come in this evening into the overnight. Tomorrow, though, humidity drops. We're warm. We'll see a lot of sunshine, temperatures in the upper 70s. We're back to 80 with the pick day of the week on Tuesday. Again, humidity stays low with lots of sunshine. So there's Futurecast for today. Again, this afternoon, as the Puerto Rican Day Parade's going on, as Long Island Pride is going on, sunshine and dry weather. Later this evening, around dinner time, that's when storms start to fire. I think they continue through the overnight hours. Again, a couple of strong damage and wind gusts not out of the question. Good news, though, it's all out of here by the Monday morning commute, and Monday itself looks great with lots of sunshine. The other good feature is the humidity drops. We go from high humidity to barely anything getting into tomorrow, and that refreshing air will be with us at least for the first couple days of the week. So 88 today, we drop to 78 tomorrow. We stay there through Wednesday, and then back to the low and mid 80s by the end of the week. So for today, 87 in Sparta, New Jersey, 83 for Liberty, 88 in the 5 boroughs, and then again 70s and 80s out across Long Island. There's your 7-day forecast. Weather alert day for today with those gusty evening storms into the overnight. Lots of sunshine, a drop in humidity, upper 70s for tomorrow, back to 80 on Tuesday, upper 70s, a couple showers for Wednesday, and then maybe tracking another threat for severe weather by Thursday before we gradually dry out Friday into the start of next weekend.
All right, thank you so much, Pat. Meanwhile, the Knicks, right? This is all we're talking about this morning. They have brought the NBA title back to New York. City Hall already getting ready for a hero's welcome. What fans can expect from the championship parade coming Thursday.
This is Picks on Politics. Is it off the table on further increases for taxing the wealthy, the 1%? Pressing those in power. I hear you. Yes. I'm going to try again. How are you able to fund this long term? What makes you think you can convince the people who voted for Zohran Mamdani to vote for you? Your questions, answers. Is there any relief, I guess, when it comes to things like gas prices? And we hit the streets to hear directly from you.
It's not fair that we have to sit here and pay for the mistakes of the city.
Picks on Politics with Dan Manarino on Pix 11 and Pix 11 Plus.
Cut! When you own a business, you own every decision.
Tom, you ready to finalize the launch?
New products in the pipeline. Meetings on the move. A launch from the lounge.
Tom?
I'm ready. A window seat for an office.
Look at this EBITDA.
What? Wrap the R&D, earn some R&R. What if we tried something like this?
Good morning, Mr. Holland.
Demand's heating up. Social campaign goes live in 3, 2, 1. The business card that gives back all you put in. Chase Sapphire Reserve for business.
I'm Gus, and my job is to make everyone in your home happy. So I recommend Optimum Fiber. It's famously fast and has the fastest and most reliable internet speeds. Switch to Optimum Fiber starting at only $25 a month with a 5-year price lock. And the Optimum PowerPath Gateway included. Get Optimum Fiber for only $25 a month. I'll go for a walk while you call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com to switch.
This is who was told he had months to live 10 years ago. This is who feared she couldn't have a child after a cancer diagnosis. And this is her son. This is who ran a clinical trial where everyone's cancer disappeared. This is who worried what prostate cancer would mean for his life and his sexual health. Now, he's confident about both. This is treatment on a cellular level, care on a personal level, hope on another level. And this, all of this, is why people treated for cancer at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center live better, longer. This is what we do.
Welcome back at 8:52. You see the haze across the city there, Brooklyn Bridge. Superstar YouTube streamer Kai Cenat at it again, drawing hundreds of eager, aspiring content creators to Manhattan's West Side for a chance to learn from the best. Jay Dow has more from John Jay, where the applications are being accepted and rejected.
This is more than something like if you know, you know. In fact, you could easily argue that if you have not heard of the name Kai Cenat, you're likely on the outside looking in. And that's exactly the situation a few hundred aspiring influencers found themselves in Friday afternoon. A couple of them even passing out in the intense heat, trying to gain admission to the internationally famous YouTuber's annual Streamer University. This application session held at John Jay University, one of a few other similar events held across the country to give aspiring content creators the opportunity to learn from the best.
A lot of them are influencers who have a big following, but there's also a lot of up-and-coming up-and-coming creators. And me as an up-and-coming creator, I think it's significant because it would connect me with other individuals.
Omar from Brooklyn says he did not get in this year, but met with Cenat.
What did Kai say? I think it was the idea of, I said my positivity was the only thing that made me stand out, whereas I needed to maybe give a little bit more as to why me instead of these 100 people standing out there. So I got denied, but he kept my application. I'm gonna be applying again.
That's a whole bunch of content creators, everybody. He even brought me out, you see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to go showcase my talent.
And our thanks to Jay Dow there for reporting on that. So the UFC fight on the South Lawn of the White House is going to go on as planned. A federal judge rejected a legal advocacy group to attempt to block it from happening. The judge had ruled that the group simply didn't have legal standing to challenge the event. A UFC ring already in place right now on the South Lawn. The fight marks President Trump's 80th birthday celebration, which happens today. A merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery getting the green light to go ahead. The Department of Justice signing off on the deal. An investigation by antitrust regulators concluded the merger would increase competition in areas like video streaming. The investigation also finding that it would not harm competition in the film industry. The merger is still under review by regulators in Europe and the UK, though. Taylor Swift hitting a significant milestone in her career. She's become the youngest woman ever inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, getting the honor by Steven Spielberg, who introduced Swift at the ceremony. She called him a hero who helped her shape her storytelling. Swift also thanking her parents because they uprooted the family from Pennsylvania, moved everybody to Nashville, letting her follow her musical dreams when she was just 14 years old. She called her songwriting talent instinctual and said that nobody taught her how to do it. It comes from the heart, people. So what I'm about to tell you is real, and it just might be the weirdest merchandise thing you're going to hear about all year long. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles caskets. The company behind this collab is Titan Casket, known for specializing in unconventional funeral campaigns, you think? There are 4 versions in the Ninja Turtle Coffin collection, one for each of the half-shelled heroes, decorated with their signature color and weapon. The caskets sell for just under $4,000, and they're currently sold out. I don't know how many they produce to be sold out, but they are sold out. All right, the New York Knicks, NBA champions for the first time in 53 years. They defeated the San Antonio Spurs 94-90, Game 5 of the NBA Finals last night, clinching that title. Jalen Brunson leading the way with a finals record, 45 points for the Knicks. He was named MVP. New York trailed by as many as 16 points before staging yet another one of their double-digit comebacks to cap one of the most dominant playoff runs in NBA history. And we're going to reward them. A ticker tape parade will be held right here in Manhattan, the Canyon of Heroes in Lower Manhattan. That'll be on Thursday. Keep reveling in these moments, enjoying all of it. High five all the strangers. That does it for your weekend morning news at 8. We will see you again next Saturday starting at 8 a.m. and, of course, right here tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. Have a great weekend, everybody.